Welcome to the July 8th Board of Selectmen meeting. We'll call the meeting to order. First order of business is move the minutes from the May 20th meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Seeing all the hands up, motion is carried. Next motion is to move the minutes from the June 10th, 2020 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Seeing all hands raised, motion is carried. Next item of business is appointment of new code enforcement officer. Don, you want to run with that?
Yes, very pleased to recommend Alex Sorois, most recently of Casco. He's also served in the town of Poland, I think about 4 years in Casco, 3.5 years roughly in Poland, where he was the assistant. And so he comes very highly recommended by local people who we have a lot of faith in. So we're very excited for him to be starting. He'll start at a probationary salary and then go later on to an increased salary that will be contingent upon him getting some certifications that he presently does not hold. This is consistent with prior code officers. Both Scott and Chris came to us in a similar situation. I think as far as experience level, although it's mostly rural, like Raymond, he is probably at a more experienced position than either of those two when they came in terms of years of service. So I'm really pleased and happy that he's decided to accept the job. He'll be starting on Tuesday, July 21st. And so I don't know if he has anything he wants to say, but we're really looking forward to him coming. And Kayla's not here, but Kayla's been very busy, working to return calls. I've even been processing to some degree or administratively processing permits. So from the start. So I'm very pleased.
I saw Mary today and she was pretty busy too. So yeah.
Yeah. Mary is back, and so she's very busy, and so I think we're ready to go. And I should say that I haven't called the town of Casco yet, but I'm going to extend the same offer that was given to us by the town of Gray, and that is to assist them to the degree possible. And the other thing I should tell you is that Alex has also agreed to come in and help us before his notice in Casco runs, which I think he gave Monday. So he's given them his notice, but he's going to try to help us in all the free time he has probably between now and then come full time for us. And I will, as I said, offer to help Casco on a divided time basis, with each town compensating for their time. So we'll work all that out.
Sounds good.
So what are the certifications that you need for here in Raymond?
So basically it comes down to Casco, because of the size of the town population wise, we don't need to be a MUBEC town. So we don't have a building code. We don't have the IRC, IBC code set. And when I was in Poland before, that wasn't an area that I was doing inspections for. It wasn't a duty that I had been given, so it wasn't necessary there either. So I never got those certifications when I started the CEO process. It will be required in Casco probably next year. So it's something I was actually working on obtaining, and it shouldn't be an issue to get that in the next month or two. Actually, I'm hoping. I got to work with the state to make sure I can take the test that quick, because they typically do a couple of test dates per year. And I don't know how it's all working with COVID, so I'll have to work that out with them. But I've heard they're pretty flexible with it.
Is that something, as far as the test dates go, can we be lenient because of the COVID issues?
Well, the statute actually allows for a year. So once I'm appointed, I have a year to get certified. So I think it should be no problem to definitely do it within a year. My goal would be to have that done ASAP.
We also have the electrical certification.
That I need to work with you on a little bit, because I've done some digging and I wasn't able to find anywhere where the actual adopted code is in Raymond. And I did actually speak with Chris last week, and he was under the impression that you guys did adopt an electrical code, but wasn't exactly sure off the top of his head. So we'll have to look at that. If we haven't adopted an electrical code, then we'll just need to work around that. And if we have, then we'll figure out a solution.
Sue, can you amplify anything related to that, the code adoption?
I vaguely remember that a line or two was added to the land use ordinance that had reference state electrical code, I believe, or something to that effect. So I can go back and look at the town meeting minutes and see what I can find for you.
Thank you. So we'll review where you are and what you need. And we are going to be, to answer Teresa's question, we will be, lenient, and obviously there are prescribed timelines in law that we'll be needing to follow. But we've been through this with both Scott and Chris in the past. So we would definitely work with Alex on this.
No, it sounds like you're willing to work with it and
Yes.
where you need to be.
Yes.
I mean, as strange as it sounds, you may find the electrical thing someplace in some of the fire stuff, because it seems to me there was discussions back when there was some ordinance work being done on some of those things on suppression and this and that and the other thing, that electrical came into play too. So it could be not where you would normally think to look.
I can't cite where it is, but I can tell you that both Chris and Scott have, indicated to me that it's something that you needed. So we'll research it though.
We now charge a fee for electrical inspection, do we not?
We do. I know we did add that in. That
Okay.
did change. So I remember questioning that because I didn't
Remember
want to
the
make
discussion on that. So,
Raymond builder friendly, I think is what it is.
okay.
So we need a motion.
We need
Yes, a motion for confirmation.
All right, I make a motion to appoint Alex. Is it Sorois or Soroy?
So I say Seroy's, but I accept any
Seroy's?
pronunciation.
But it's your last name.
I say it the wrong way. At least that's what I've been told. And I guess the easiest way I can describe to people is pronounced the same way as you would say turquoise.
Turquoise, Serois. Okay, I'm good with that. All right, I make a motion to appoint Alexander Serois as the new code enforcement officer.
Moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Seeing all positive votes, motion is carried.
Welcome aboard and thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
And thank you for the correction on the name. I did my due diligence, and what I got back was Serois from Rita, but Serois it'll be.
And the appointment papers will be out by the back door tomorrow for signature.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, next item is quitclaim deeds. Who's
All right,
handling those?
do you want me to read
Teresa.
it? Ready? All right, I'm gonna make a motion to accept the quitclaim deed for Tim W. Hall, book 34141, page 15, book 35065, page 28, book 359, 199.
Moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Seeing positive votes on everyone, the motion is carried.
Okay, I make a motion to accept the short form quitclaim deed on an estate of Irwin C. Booley. Book 35065, page 6, book 35913, page 20.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? None. All positive votes. Motion is carried.
Ah, here comes the thunder.
Were there any calls in for public comment, Sue?
No, there weren't.
Selectmen comments? Okay. Town manager report.
We are off to a very busy summer, and so I should tell you that. And with the grant, we've been very actively trying to get everything that we committed to the state done. And so you may notice some so-called luxury porta potties. Those have turned out to be quite a unit to manage. We're going to be improving in that regard. I want to give a thank you to Nathan for taking care of them in the early days of their landing. But we're coming up with a long-term plan, hopefully in consultation and conjunction with the town of Naples, which they are in a similar position. If not, we're going to look at a contract op or possibly within the rec department. But so that kind of got jumped on us. But if you've seen them around town, they're there to promote health and sanitation, and they're rather nice. And so we're getting some positive comment on that. I think we're going to take the one from the ballpark though down to the Tasseltop. The ballpark unit is not getting used very much, and Tasseltop can use additional units, and they're easier for us to maintain in Tasseltop. We got a whole range of signage coming, and I'll be sending that out in a day or so. And we're going to offer that up to the Lake Region area, to the town of Wyndham. They have a grant that encompasses 8 towns, and we're part of that grant process. Bill Blood, who's with us, will be doing some videos. We're going to get in touch with him. And so we have there's just a whole bunch of different things we're doing. We're doing outreach to businesses, to camps. We're trying to do everything we can possibly do to mitigate the COVID-19 pandemic and to continue the public education process. And I'm really impressed with everything Kathy Goslin has done and the signage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I want
absolutely.
to call out to Kathy and Bruce and Nathan and Joe, and it's been a team effort, and Kayla, Kathy Ricker. So, so look, everybody's been involved making this happen. I'm sure I'm leaving people out, but that's the big thing we're pushing right now, is getting that grant implemented. And as far as the town office is going, I also want to call out the town office staff. I think things have gone rather smoothly, and people are, I think the public's been generally good, and the staff has been, very, I think, attentive to people's needs. I've gotten 0 complaints, which is really good, from either side. So I think the citizens are happy, and the staff seems reasonably happy. And under the circumstances, it's tough. It's a tough situation. So, we're just trying to do the best we can, go about our business. And I think the great news for the town is, though, that our revenues are on target. And our Tasseltop receipts, as we had learned this morning in our department head meeting, Joe is now projecting that we may meet the original revenue projections, which is quite something given, the pandemic and the slow start and every other thing that's happened. So, so that's all good news. So I think in terms of the town's operations, I'm happy to report we're in good shape.
Good.
As far as other things, let's see, confirming the date for the next upcoming meeting, that's to be determined as needed, as we have been running for the last few months. The reminder of upcoming election schedule, Tuesday, July 14th, polls open 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the gym. There will be social distancing, CDC compliant practices and protocols in place. If Sue wants to comment, I guess she could comment on that, or you could take it on faith that they will be what they need to be. And
Well, I think,
not going to see a big
Don,
crowd.
I think it would be appropriate for Sue to do that, only because it's another opportunity to have this broadcast, what the protocols are going to be, so people may have some idea what's going to happen when they come in there. So Sue, if you want to just go through what's going to happen from the time you hit the parking lot to the time you leave the parking lot.
I had just one other thing, and that is that I'm hopeful, though, that we've had a ton of absentees, that's going to mitigate the turnout. And I'm done.
When they first get to the parking lot, they'll go over to the door the same way they have, the door that goes into the top there, then goes down the ramp. But as soon as they go through those doors, it's going to look different, because I'm going to have the letter designations and right there, so that if they're in A to K, they'll be in one line, L to Z, they'll be in the other. They're going to be X's on the floor or lines on the floor with caution tape that will be staggered, so that the lines won't be side by side going down the ramp. When they get in, there'll be a 2x3 sneeze guard in front of each of the election workers at the lists, and there'll also be one at the registrar's table. And the workers will have masks, gloves, and face shields, so to keep themselves and to keep others safe. The state has provided pens so that when we give someone a pen, they're welcome to take it with them, or I'll have a bucket at the end, they can dump them in and we'll sanitize them and use them at the town office eventually, or probably actually use them for November. We're only using half of the voting booths to be able to keep people distant. So instead of having 4 people grouped around, there will be one on one side, the 2 on the edges or on the sides will be blocked off, and the one opposite the one being used will also be used. So the 2 people would be facing each other, but when seated, they'll be 6 feet apart. We have a sizable number of ballots this time, and I've been paying attention as people have been voting them at the town office. And on average, it's around 10 minutes to vote all of the ballots. If you're in a party, you're going to get 6 ballots, and 2 of those are double-sided with 34 warrant articles for town meeting.
Wow.
So it's going to take a while. We're going to have all the booths sit down. There won't be any stand up just because it's taking so long. Another big change is there'll be like a mouse maze for people to go through, or queue to get to the ballot boxes. Those are going to be located near the door in the far corner. So this election, people won't be able to go in and out the same door. They'll only come down the ramp to come in, and they'll have to go out that back door to leave. And the only exception to that would be anyone that had any difficulties with walking, or in a wheelchair, or some other device. We would make arrangements so that they could go back up the ramp, but we'd have to move people to get them to do that. So it is going to be
Post the picture.
different, but I don't think significantly different. Really, from the voters' point of view, it will look different, but they'll still get their ballots, they'll still get pens, they'll still go to a booth, they'll still put their ballots themselves into the voting booths. It will take a little longer, though, between the number of ballots, and we can't, the state calls it piggyback on the state election, because one of the races for state senate is a ranked choice voting race. So we will have one machine that the town and school ballots go in, and another machine that the state ballots go in. And with the rules from the state,
Why does it say post?
and with the rules from the state, the ballots are no one can come and put ballots in a machine that's not being used until the voter that's there finishes putting all of their ballots in. So someone will have to put in all of their town, all of the state, and then leave, and then the next person can come. So people will need to know that if they are going to vote in person, it may take longer, and they'll need to have some patience.
Anything else, Don?
No, I think I'm set. I guess if I had to conclude, I would say thanks so much to the staff, the selectmen for their support, and for our citizens for being so understanding. As I said, things have gone very well, better than I had expected.
One other thing I would add is that the town books were delivered today. You each have one in your box at the town office, but citizens are welcome to come in and get one. If you want to see the pictures pretty, though, they are all in color online, right on the front page of the home page of the town website at raymondmaine.org.
That concludes all the agenda items. So if there's nothing else, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Welcome to your craziness, Alex.